Hello, my friend, and welcome to Wisdom Trek. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, your guide to wisdom and creating a living legacy. Thank you for joining us for our 5-day-per-week wisdom and legacy building podcast. This is day 723 of our trek, and time for our Philosophy Friday series. Each Friday, we will ponder some of the basic truths and mysteries of life and how they can impact us in creating our living legacy. Starting this week and for the foreseeable future, we are going to initiate a new series called Ask Gramps. This is a time where Gramps will answer your questions that you would possibly like to ask your dad or granddad, but for whatever reason, this is not possible. No matter how old you are, I know that all of us would like the opportunity to ask Dad or Gramps questions about life in all areas. We will address areas such as finances, relationships, health and physical, business and work, home repairs and renovations, seasons of life, spiritual and biblical questions, and any other areas that come our way. As your fellow sojourner and mentor on this trek that we call life, it is my goal to provide you with practical wisdom and advice about any area of life. It is crucial that I receive a constant flow of questions, so please submit your questions to Guthrie@wisdom-trek.com or send me a message at the bottom of any web page on wisdom-trek.com or text me at 740-350-5732 and I will answer your question on the Friday podcast. I hope that this will become a highly interactive and informative time for all of us. We are broadcasting from our studios at the Big House in Marietta, Ohio. It has been a much cooler and somewhat rainy week here in Marietta, and the leaves are starting to fall. I mulched, vacuumed, and hauled away 6 large loads of leaves this last weekend. This next week coming up does not look quite as favorable, as more rain is predicted, but we will invest our time when the opportunity presents themselves. One thing that I've learned over the years is that the leaves will remain on the ground until I'm able to get them, so it's not something I allow to cause any stress. In fact, even as dusty and difficult as it is at times, I do enjoy getting out and getting to do some physical work that I don't get to do during the week. Sometimes it is difficult to push through each day with so many competing demands for our most limited resource, which is time. So here's our question for today. Hey Gramps, how do you continue to push through each day even when you are tired and don't feel like it? So today we want to discuss pushing through. I have to admit, some days are easier than others, and while it's not best to compare ourselves with other people, it does appear I tend to be more disciplined than many people. So another question would be, is it my genetic makeup or the habits that I have infused into my life over the years? It goes back to the nature versus nurture scenario. And as with most questions like this, it's probably a mix of both. As I analyze this question, I have come to the conclusion that it largely boils down to why you practice certain habits. Since I can only speak for myself, because I really can't get inside the head of another person, I will answer for myself. I have found that I work best with at least some structure in my life, but not so rigid of structure that I cannot adapt. I have had the practice of rising early throughout my adult life. Currently, I do get up at 4:45 a.m. Monday through Friday. After getting dressed and taking care of some bathroom functions, I start about an hour and a half of exercise, which includes pull-ups, leg lifts, push-ups, ab workouts, stationary bikes, weight machine, and treadmill. During this workout time is when I listen to my phone to Bible reading, other devotional emails, and podcast or audiobooks. So what drives this, or why do I do this? For me, the sacrifice of getting up early is offset by the physical, spiritual, intellectual, and emotional strengthening that I am able to receive by doing so. Do I jump out of bed happy and ready to go each morning? Certainly not. I usually feel tired and would rather stay in bed, but I do get up and push through because my why is greater than my sacrifice. I try, not always successfully, to be asleep by 10 p.m. because adequate sleep is equally important as the physical exercise. Now on the weekends, I do sleep in some to recharge and relax from my daily duties, so I do work toward balance. I realize that God will ultimately control my lifespan and will determine the day I die, but I do have a goal to live to at least 125. That helps me to put life into perspective, realizing that I could have another 64 years for which I could positively impact my world. This drives my why of why I do what I can to take care of myself. The same habits apply to how I eat, what I allow to go into my mind, and what I focus on during the day. Many times the anxiety, self-doubt, and discouragement all of us experience is based on what we allow to go into our minds, including our self-talk. We need to make a conscious effort each day to focus on what we can control and allow God to work through us on all that we cannot control. Do I get tired and feel like quitting? Certainly I do, sometimes multiple times per day. My work schedule is usually 8 a.m. to about 6 p.m., sometimes a little longer, and it is not always structured as I would like it to be, so I have had to learn to be more flexible in my life. I also have to work many Saturdays to keep up with the workload. On a daily basis, I push through even when I don't feel like it. My why is to serve others for a purpose that is greater than I am, to help other companies to succeed, to be able to assist family members and friends that are in need, and to be able to further God's kingdom throughout the world. To sum it up, this is how and why I continue to push through each day, even when I am tired and I don't feel like it. As Galatians chapter 6 verse 9 tells us, "So let us not get tired of doing what is good. At just the right time, we will reap a harvest of blessing if we don't give up." Next week, we will have another questions to Ask Gramps. Gramps will answer your questions, and I trust that I will provide you with practical wisdom about any area of life. As a reminder, please submit your questions to Guthrie at wisdom-trek.com, and I will answer them on our Friday podcast with wisdom and philosophy that Gramps has gained over the years of experience and study. I know that you'll find these insights interesting, practical, and profitable in living a rich and satisfying life. Our next trek will be Mindshift Monday, where we will help you to live differently by thinking differently. So encourage your friends and family to join us, and to come along with us on Monday for another day of Wisdom Trek, Creating a Legacy. If you'd like to listen to any of the past daily treks or read the associated journals, they are all available at wisdom-trek.com. You can also subscribe at iTunes or Google Play so that each day's trek is downloaded to you automatically. And thank you so much for allowing me to be your mentor, your guide. But most importantly, I am your friend as I serve you through the Wisdom Trek podcast and journal. And as we take this trek of life together, let us always live abundantly, love unconditionally, listen intentionally, learn continuously, lend to others generously, lead with integrity, and then leave a living legacy each day. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, reminding you to keep moving forward, enjoy your journey, and then create a great day every day. See you on Monday.